All right, I think we're almost to 8:30. I'm just going to welcome everyone to our Sunday night training. Now, Dr. Hatch, I did mute everyone, so you'll have to unmute yourself when I introduce you. My name is Marilyn Mosier. I am a Pro 7 in the Sioux Falls area. I actually live in Northwest Iowa with my husband of almost 32 years, and we have two children, Seth and Mariah, and then Mariah just got married last December to Luke. And so we're excited to have a growing family, but I am just honored to be with you tonight to do this training on getting started. And if you are new to Lifevantage, I want to congratulate you. You have made an awesome decision to join our company at just the right time. And you'll see on the screen here, it says, do you have a burning desire to change your story? And that's what you need with this company. If you're willing to work hard, be coachable, and follow a system, I can tell you one thing, you are going to be successful if you never quit. And everybody's on their own journey, their own time frame. It might take you a year to get where you want to go. It might take you a few months. It might take you a few more years. But that's okay. As long as you follow this system that we're going to share with you tonight, we can guarantee you some great success with our company. There's a couple of key things that I tell my new distributors. They're going to get, when they start, their little blueprint, and now they're these fancy blueprints that you get in your pack, and how to launch your business comes with it. When I started, it was just a little blueprint like this. And to be honest, I didn't even open it at first. I just went to all the local trainings to get started. But what I like to tell my new distributors is that if you look at this as you just bought a franchise, you bought a franchise that can earn you millions of dollars and retire you from your full-time job someday. So I want you to take it seriously. If you treat this business like a business, it will pay you like a business. So that's the tips I'm going to share with you tonight, that when you enroll, you're going to go ahead and enroll online, or you can even enroll with your franchise over fax with the company. You're going to instantly get an ID number, and you're going to have a password, and I'd say write that down and keep that safe somewhere so that you have it to refer to. And then you're going to go ahead and place your initial order for your Vantage Pack. And so that Vantage Pack is actually, you're going to, once you enroll to get your Vantage Pack, or I'm sorry, your Gold Pack, Silver Pack, or your Platinum Pack, which I would advise you to get the Platinum Pack, because the Platinum Pack gives you 2 free event tickets. It's going to give you more product to give out to family and friends, or sell to family and friends, and just to use. And I always say, if you're going to open a store or a business, you want to have all of the product line. Carrie Dickey always says, if you're going to open a liquor store, you know, you wouldn't just open it with a 6-pack of Bud Light. You would have a variety of products, right? Same thing with this. You want to make sure to have the most bang for your buck. Plus, you're going to actually duplicate that in your system. They're going to eventually ask you, you know, what pack did you sign up with? And if you say you went with the top pack, that's what's going to duplicate usually in your business. Now, we don't say you have to go with the Platinum Pack. I always say meet your customer or your distributor where they are. If they can only afford the Gold Pack or Silver Pack, you meet them where they are and get them started. You don't say, you know what, you better just wait. I always say meet them where they're at and meet their needs that way. So then once they order their Platinum Pack, they're going to get that ID and password. Then you're going to set up their auto ship. You're going to go into the shopping cart in the back office, and you're going to set them up for that $200 auto ship, because you're going to make sure that you're going to be a product of the products. You want to promote. You can't promote what you aren't using, and that's why we always say be a product of the products, use them, fall in love with them, create your product story. And we always say to get that $200 auto ship, now you guys, we have free shipping. That's huge. So those are the great things that you want to say, you know what, let's start you off with the free shipping package, that bundle pack. And so it's either the essentials, or you're going to get them the True Science kit with the bundle. And that way they make sure that they're getting the products to promote to their family and friends, and to also use. Then they're going to download the apps. There's the app stack that you can buy, all of them. That's like the LV Move, the Brander, the LV Share, all of those apps that you can put on your phone, you can actually have your multi-million-dollar business from your cell phone, and it's mobile. It's everywhere you go, and it has great ways to follow up with contacts, send them info, download your contacts. It makes it so much easier. Plus, in the back office, there's training on how to use all of this. So you're going to show them the training on the back office as well. There's also the Pro Audio, which, you know, eventually will be going away because it's actually part of your app store. You can listen to the Pro Audio, but I still like to get my Pro Audio in the mail because it reminds me to pop it in my CD player, and that's what I did the first 2 or 3 years while I was commuting back and forth to my job. You know, now I'm retired because of Lifevantage. But well, those first few years, you know, that's my commute time, 40 minutes in the car in the morning, 40 minutes on the way home. And I was at traveling university, and I listened to all of those leaders teach me all the principles of building a business and success with Lifevantage. And so those were the key building things. I remember Seth Mulder always said to listen to each Pro Audio 3 times at least minimum, because you're going to learn something new every time, and you're going to learn some great stories to help you build your business. And like I said, you're going to be a product of the product by getting that auto ship set up. And remember that auto ship comes the next month, but the initial pack will have product in it as well. But by the time that product runs out, you're going to want your auto ship coming so that it fulfills, you know, what you need as far as replacing that product. Then I like to go in and register for them for their next event. We have Lifevantage Academy coming up May 20th, and that's every 3rd Saturday unless there's a major corporate event. There's also Elite Academy and conventions. We want to make sure to get them on the right track. That's the key to success, is plugging them into events. So make sure they get registered, because if they got the platinum pack or the gold pack, they already have a ticket, so they're set. Then you're going to go ahead, and these are some things to additionally know when you enroll in the business. You log into the back office, you go to the library, and there's a bunch of tools on the library. So take some time to just kind of sit down and play with your back office, and, you know, click on all the tabs, do the training, look through all the library stuff. That's what I did in the beginning. And a lot of this stuff is in your blueprint. It's also going to talk to you about having that mindset of, you know, looking through and being a business builder. It talks about having an apprentice mindset. You know, this is on-the-job training. And the nice thing is if you bought a business like McDonald's or a franchise, you would have to go to a university, or they call it Hamburger University. You would have to learn how to run your business. Or if you started a new job, you'd have an orientation. This is no different. This is your orientation to your new business. So learn it, you know, study your blueprint. Ask your mentor or your enroller for help. Then you're going to read the policy and procedures, and that might be tedious, but the one thing I make sure they all know is what to say and what not to say, because with the recent FDA warning letter, you want to make sure you tell your new distributor the correct way to promote our product line. We do not say we cure, mitigate, or treat any disease or prevent any disease. We make sure we say the proper thing to say is we reduce oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days, and that is a statement that has been approved by the FDA. Then we also go and we set up the personal business site, and that is in the back office. We go to the business site administration tab, and you log in there, and then you tweak whatever they want for their business site. You can change the email, change the business site name, and you make sure the phone number is correct, and then you save it at the bottom, and that saves it. And then you log back in and show them your business site is ready to go. You are now open for business around the world, and that is so cool. So then you go ahead and you share your why with your mentor. The reason we do that is we know that you have to have that burning desire to change your situation. Now, depending on if you just part-time in this gig for a while, when I got started, that's where I was at. I was a busy mom. My husband had a full-time job. I had a full-time job. My daughter was in her last year of high school. I really wasn't thinking of this as my full-time gig, but I listened to my mentor. I went to the trainings. I did, you know, every nook and cranny of my day. And on my breaks, that's what I was doing, is checking my emails, you know, checking my website. And that's how I built this very part-time in the beginning. So determine your why. If it's going to be your full-time job, if you want freedom from your full-time job, or if you want a second stream of income, look at that income disclosure sheet and see where you want to be. Do you want an extra $500 a month to help with the car payment? Or do you want to have $2,000 a month for your mortgage? Or do you want to help pay off some debt from college loans? Or do you want to set aside some retirement? You know, get that why and get it attached to a feeling, and write it on your walls around your house or your mirrors, and keep it close in your mind of why you're doing this, because that, when the business gets a little bit, you know, tough some days, it will remind you why you're doing this. So determine with your mentor what you're willing to do. You're going to set some goals and objectives with your mentor and with your enroller, and decide, okay, if I want the why, what am I willing to do to get that why? And that's very important. And what that means is sometimes you might have to skip a game or skip a, you know, an event or something that you want to do, some personal time, and you're going to go to one of our local events, or make some commitment to go to our corporate events. Because I can tell you one thing, that'll take, if you're a new distributor and you don't go to the corporate events and the LV academies, that is what's going to hold you back. So you want to make sure that you are involved and plugged in and going to these trainings, because that is going to be the key to what is going to build your business the fastest. Then I show them how to get their return on investment. Again, I'm not going to spend 2 hours with them, but I'm going to teach them a few basic things to get them enrolled correctly so that this can duplicate when they enroll someone else. I want to show them, if they enrolled in a gold pack, for instance, that if they can get 2 people signed up, and how that's going to pay them back, and they are in the black. Their business is in the black. They have made their return on investment. If they got in on a platinum pack, that means that you know, they only need to sign up 2 more people on a platinum pack, and they basically got their return on investment, or 2 or 3. I was always told, get 3 business builders, get your return on investment. But I always teach, recruit 5 business partners as quickly as you can, and 10 customers, and do that 3 levels deep. That's what Mark Shinsato always teaches, is the 5, 10, 3 rule. And that really keeps people duplicating properly. Your business won't be so shallow if you're all teaching that same thing, because those 5 will lead to 5 more who know 5 more. Pretty soon you've got 100, and then you've got 600, and then you've got 1,200 people. And that's what we want. I was always told in the beginning, try to get 100 people in your organization as quickly as you can. And so I would do little incentives and things like that for my team to try to help them get, you know, building quickly. And that's what you want to do. And then you want to also introduce your new person to the team. You want to share with them 3 to 5 team members, and give them their numbers so that they can use them for 3-way calls, because we are in the business for ourselves, but not by ourselves. You're not doing this alone. And so I always try to introduce them either by text or by a phone call to either my upline or my, you know, sideline, crossline, downline, somebody in our team that is close by that can help support them. I want them to know that they're not in this alone. Then I'm going to show them, connect them to our team Facebook page, the official Lifevantage page. I'm going to tell them about our team calls, you know, our Sunday night training call, the Monday morning motivational call with Stu and Perry. I've got a Tuesday night call. I mean, I always tell people the team calls that they're going to want to plug into. And then the Big Blue Calendar is going to have the proven plan call every Saturday morning, and make sure they're on that. Also go to Big Blue and say, you know what? Who do you know in this state, in this state, in this state? And you show those, all the states around the United States that have cookie cutter meetings just like what we do here. And that way it kind of gives them a taste of how big our organization is and everything, to help us, you know, feel that we're not doing this alone, and that gets them plugged in. So that Big Blue Calendar, that's also in your back office. There's a link, and you just click on that as well. So those are just some of the straight, quick tips I do to get them started fast. You don't have to spend a whole hour, 2, 3, you know, don't freak them out in the beginning. How do you eat an elephant? You eat it 1 bite at a time. And so you tell them, you know what, this is going to be 6 weeks of you and me working together, or 6 weeks, 2 months, whatever. And we're going to just take this really small in small portions, but it's these immediate things that they need to know is get their website, get them help them, show them how to enroll a new customer, enroll a distributor, make sure they know the basics so that when they get their website up and running and they have a few family members or friends or neighbors that want to get started, that gives them a sense of accomplishment that they can do this. And so that's very key to getting them going. And then you're just going to go ahead and I'm not going to get into databasing, but you're going to start with that memory jogger, and you're going to start creating a list of people that you want to share this with. So I hope that helps. That is just the basic rundown of how we're going to get you kicked off into your Lifevantage business. And now I'm going to bring on our very special guest, and it is going I'm going to introduce Dr. Bly Hatch. He is actually a chiropractor and a acupuncturist and very versed in nutrition. He's from Arizona. He is actually a relative of Dr. Brimhall. And he's a Pro 5 in the company, and he is just so knowledgeable. And he's going to talk a little bit today about the NRF2 pathway and the NRF2 product line that we have with Pro Tandem. So I'm going to bring him on now. If you're not muted, Dr. Hatch, are you there?
I'm not muted, I'm here. So I'm going to click on my desktop here and share my desktop, I believe. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Glad to have you online tonight. Let me see if I can share my screen here. There we go. And I'm actually going to bring up my PowerPoint here. I'm excited. I was asked tonight to present on NRF2, and I'm excited to be doing that. This is the basis of our company, so it's amazing. This is what actually started. We'll get it here to this point. So maybe that's what we're going to do. Oh, there we go. Good. So I'm going to talk a little bit about NRF2 and why it's so important. So what is NRF2? You know, we know all about it. I'm sure many of you could probably teach me a ton of things about it. But NRF2 is a messenger protein that's in our body that activates the genes. What that does is increases our antioxidants to protect it against oxidative damage due to injury or some type of insult or inflammation that occurred in our body. So NRF2 is that little protein that goes in and kicks everything up. Now, how does it do that? Okay, how does NRF2 work? When a antioxidant or oxidative stress comes into our body, or some type of foreign object that the body does not like, heavy metals, whatever it may be, our body comes along and it kicks in what's called a KEAP protein, and it goes and activates a NRF2 protein. That NRF2 protein crosses the cytoplasm of the cell and goes into the nucleus and turns on our genes. Now it turns on our genes and activates those genes to start producing our antioxidants, glutathione, superoxide dismutase, catalase, and several others. About 500 different genes of these 25,000 genes get activated or turned on or upregulated, if you want to call it. And what they upregulate is the antioxidants, the anti-inflammatory responses, the anti-apoptotic responses, the mitochondrial biogenesis, helping the mitochondria activate and get going. It reduces the redox balance, or helps with redox balance and proteasomal activity. More enzymes are produced to actually start reducing that oxidative stress that's in our body. So what it does is it activates what we call our survival genes. And those survival genes are basically what helps us fight off or combat things that hit us several times throughout the day and throughout the week. So that's really, really important. And when it comes on, our body can get overwhelmed. When our body gets overwhelmed, that's when it leads to some bad processes. Now, the cool thing about NRF2, it's been studied since 1994, and this is just stats from 2014. But I looked on it tonight. There was a little over 5,000 research articles on NRF2 itself on PubMed.gov. As of today, there's over 8,000 studies on PubMed on NRF2 itself. So over 8,000 studies. So it's starting to gain more momentum. Realize it started way back in 2003. They just had a few. Now they have over 8,000. So it's amazing. That's a cool thing. One of my favorite research studies they have is on the actual Washington State University study, where it says we may be on the verge of new literature on the health effects of NRF2 which may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine. That is actually one of the coolest research articles, because we do know that we are on the most extraordinary and most preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine. We see drug companies out there trying to make this drug right now, to a NRF2 drug, to get it on the market so that they can start capitalizing on this. It's just amazing to see all the research that's going on right now. So why is that important? Well, it's important because every one of us are exposed to free radical oxidative stress. There's no getting away from it. It starts with that aging process. The older we get, the quicker it goes and the faster we age. But the foods we eat, if you recall from the ABC primetime video that all of us have had a chance to watch, realize that putting what into our body is very important. So you want to eat as clean as you can, in addition to taking the Protandim, so you can become healthy. But it affects all of our organ systems. It affects our heart, it affects our skin, it affects our joints, our brain, our immune system. It affects multiple organ systems and leads to things like autoimmune disorders, such as lupus, RA, MS, some of all the different things that occur there, cancer. It affects our learning disability, our learning ability and memory in the elderly. So we can see it causes a lot of problems. We're not immune to it. We will all have the chance of getting it every day. So it's amazing. So what can you do by raising your NRF2? How can it help you? Well, there's a lot of research that's being shown right now on how it helps. It helps repair the DNA of the cells by starting to get the DNA repaired and clipping out the bad things and repairing it. It works as an anti-inflammatory because we know it reduces oxidative stress in the body. It works as helps with cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and metabolic syndromes. It's been amazing to see what happens with it. Alzheimer's prevention. NRF2 has been able to start helping people that have Alzheimer's. So NRF2 is the active way of reducing our inflammation on our brain and on our body, and that's really important. It reverses the aging of skin, kidney disease, lung disease, toxic liver, which is amazing to see and to watch as it reduces those high enzymes in the body on the occasions. Autoimmune disorders such as lupus or RA or MS, those types of things that happen, Hashimoto's, the different things that we see out there, inflammatory bowel diseases, which is plaguing our country, neurological diseases such as ALS, Huntington's chorea disease, which is amazing. So raise your NRF2 and you're going to start seeing a lot of prevention in disease processes, and that's really, really important. Just to kind of reiterate the fact that drug companies are out there looking to get this on the market. They are looking to get a NRF2 activator. They're studying hard and they're trying to do things. One of the interesting things I noted today on the internet was the research that's going on with Parkinson's disease from the Michael Fox Foundation. So very interesting to see that. But we can all remember this, the multiple sclerosis study that was done with Tech Federa and our nutritional supplement. And when it came along and said, you know, interestingly, Protandim, a dietary supplement consisting of herbal ingredients, was the most potent inducer and therefore may become the most suited for a therapeutic strategy. Guys, we have our hands on an amazing product right now that allows the body to do what it was designed to do, and allows the body to start healing itself like it's supposed to. And if we can get this into the hands of the public and into the hands of the people, we have a short window here, and we're going to start really seeing things happen in the next few years. We need to be very proactive and be very strong in our posture and sharing this with people so that they can see what's going on. Why? Because we have the most potent inducer right now. We have over 23 studies, which is pretty neat. We actually have that NRF2 technology where the nutritional portion of our product can actually go in and turn that gene on. It reduces oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. There's 11 patents on it, you know, and the coolest study we got right now is that it extends lifespan. So if you look at a few of these studies here that we have in front of us, you know, we have Circulation magazine, I mean, amazing study, 22-page study there. The recent studies of arthritis that came out and longer lifespan in male mice is amazing. We look at the oligodendrocytes in MS patients. It's amazing what we see that's happening with getting the body to work by activating that NRF2 protein in it. I wanted to share this slide because I want you guys to understand that I just had a discussion this weekend with a gentleman that told me, well, my naturopath has me on all of these products. I don't want to take your product. I said, well, great. I says, let me send you to a website and have you research it anyway, so you can see what the difference is between just being on the products and being on this synergistically as it is formulated by Dr. McCord. And it's kind of funny when you look at the research on the five ingredients across the board. They're very low, but you put them all together, they got an 18-fold of increasing our antioxidants, getting those genes to do what it's supposed to do. So that's 18 times more effectively than the sum of its individual parts. And realize that this is not in large amounts. Our product's not in large amounts, it's in small amounts. Large amounts sometimes may become more of a medicinal type treatment when we use it in large amounts. Here's one I really like. I just like to go over the 5 ingredients of it. And it's so simple. It's milk thistle, turmeric, green tea, bocoba, ashwagandha. It's been clinically proven. You know, do you want to take a 1-to-1 ratio with an antioxidant versus a oxidative stress, or do you want to take a fire hose and put it out? I mean, to me, I'd rather put a fire out than try to put my house that is on fire out with a cup of water. It's not going to work. So realize people are exposed to more toxins, more chemicals, more emotional and physical stresses. The body doesn't know how to differentiate between stresses. It still has the same response, no matter what the stress is. Whether it's a big dog chasing you, or you hit yourself with a hammer, it's the same response. The body responds that way. This is one of the last slides I want to end with. I've got 2 more after this, but realize that the NRF2 pathway, there's simple pathways that signal those proteins to be turned on, those antioxidants to be turned on. It's helping us to protect us against cancer, neurodegenerative diseases, inflammation, cellular detoxification. And the coolest thing is, the older we get, yeah, we lose it, but you know what's really cool? It's reversible. We can actually get people that are 80 years old on this and have their oxidative stress return to that of a newborn child. Isn't that cool? So we can really have this as a target for anti-aging and intervention. What products does Lifevantage have that has this in it? Well, we're looking at them right here on this screen. We can see the Protandem, the True Science has the NRF2 technology. The Axio has the NRF2 technology in it, and the Pet Tandem has it. All of these are important for helping us individually and those individuals we love, such as our pets, to become strong and healthy and live longer lives. So that's really cool. Our company is very progressive and is very on the cutting edge of science. And that's really amazing to see this. I've been doing nutrition for over 25 years in my practice, and I have never actually been able to use a product that I've been able to see some neat changes in people over the years. So that's been one of the really cool things that I've seen with this product that I've seen. And I'm going to end with this. Well, maybe there are. Realize that Lifevantage, we're at the forefront of nutrigenomics, and that's where we're at. So continue to become more bold in your ability to talk to people. Don't be afraid. Let that fear go and start talking with people. I got a text from Dr. Brimhall this morning in Hawaii, and he said, that rocked the meeting. I hope you guys do well, but realize that you guys need to really work to get to that next trip, which is in the Bahamas, and we want to all be there. I'd love to see all of you there. I'm planning on being there, so I look forward to seeing you. Thank you for your time. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here, and I'll turn it back over to you, Marilyn.
All right, thank you. Can you hear me okay? All right, well, I think we're about at 9 o'clock. So if there's no other questions, does anybody want to unmute and ask any questions? Thank you so much, Dr. Hatch. That was amazing.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And you're right, we do have to get to that next incentive trip. That's on my goal and my bucket list too.
Yeah.
All of us can be there.
Yeah. Thank you guys for being on tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Go tell the world.
Yes. Have a great night, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night, all.